As a judo athlete myself, I was a very focused athlete. I always wanted to learn something new and master it. I was somebody who would execute the same technique over and over again until I got it right. And I think judo really gave me that idea that if you do something enough times, you are going to get it right today or tomorrow. And I really loved doing that. I loved learning a new technique and performing it over and over and over again. As a competitor, I had tremendous support from both my parents and my sister and my entire family, my aunt, my grandmother, my grandparents. Everybody was always there to support me, even though I would have my parents come to watch me in competitions. I was a very quiet athlete. I didn't like talking to anyone before my competition because I was always focusing and being in that right state of mind. And I would hate it when somebody would ruin that state of mind for me. And that's why I preferred staying very quiet before my competitions. Once my competitions ended, I would be very much ready to, go and talk to everyone, say hello, and, talk more about other people's bouts and matches and what happened on the day during the competition. I never really thought I would go that far and become a national champion in judo. And I think it's just, I was striving for perfection. I was striving for mastery. And I think winning was just a byproduct of, following excellence. And that's what my parents always taught me. If you strive to excel, you will ultimately win. And winning was never the goal. The goal was to perform your best, to perform to your absolute optimal, potential. And that's what I always, wanted to strive for. And I do that not just, I've not just done that in judo, but I've also done that in academics. I also do that today in my work. When I want something done, I want it done right. And when I do something, I make sure I put myself 100% into it. And I think that's what I've learned from judo. The other things about judo were that, I was not a very social person. I was quite quiet. And for me, my judo friends were just my judo friends. They were not part of my life outside of judo. And I really liked, keeping it that way. I enjoyed that distance that I could have because even though I had to sometimes compete against my friends, um, I could still kind of keep that distance and detach myself from them. It was hard, competing against your own friends. But I kind of managed that pretty well, I think. I think it's because I was quite quiet and I did not attach myself too much to other people. Not everyone can do that, but I think I had this ability naturally to detach myself because I knew winning and that competition and that performing to my best level was more important to me than my friendship. And if my friends were real, they would understand it. So that's what I was like as a judo player. I was also somebody who never liked to believe that I could lose. And I feel that most of the times, if I was in the mood to perform, I was going to win. And I was going to win by knockout. I was going to win by a lot, and it was going to be a very clear win. And if I wasn't in the mood to perform and if I wasn't in that right state of mind, then I would lose by a lot. So I think I always knew what I wanted on the day of the competition and I knew how it was going to go. And I just had to make my peace with it. And I often tell athletes that it doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. All that matters is that you fulfilled your own expectations, and your own expectations come before anybody else's. And that is something judo really taught me. And I think that's something I always knew as a judo player. And it only emphasized that. And I think the impact it had on me and on my personality was tremendous. And I'm really grateful that I had this amazing, beautiful experience of being a competitive judo athlete because I can relate that to my other athletes. And it doesn't matter what sport you're in, every athlete really does feel and think almost in those similar ways. The pressures of competition, the pressure of, doing your best, and the pressure you put on yourself is very similar in every single sport and within all amazing athletes.